Guys, welcome to Talk Football with Tyrone. Here we do football analysis, player analysis, and football tactics. Welcome. So today in our video, we are going to analyze the football meta. This football meta, we are going to discuss Brighton's manager De Zerbi. We are going to analyze how De Zerbi has transformed Brighton into one of the best ball-playing teams in Europe. Today we are also going to look at his tactical aspects and how he sets up Brighton. After the departure of Graham Potter to Chelsea in the beginning of the season, Brighton appointed De Zerbi as the next head coach. He was not famed to have won a lot in his previous jobs, but was tasked to transform Brighton. So Brighton normally play with a 4-2-3-1 formation with the following personnel as the starting 11. But before we start this video, I'd like to ask you to like, share and subscribe to our channel so that we can reach the 1,000 mark. Brighton are one of the best teams in Europe in build-up. Brighton build creating a numerical superiority in defense with their 2 centre-backs, goalkeeper and 2 holding midfielders. So Brighton, while building up, try to stretch the pitch and make it as wide as possible by positioning both of their wingers high up the pitch, positioning both of their fullbacks wide, and their centre-backs spreading on either side of the goalkeeper with their 2 holding midfielders dropping deep. This draws the opposition into pressing them high, but Brighton normally have a 5v2 numerical superiority while building up, and therefore they are able to circulate the ball between their centre backs, their 2 holding midfielders and their goalkeeper. This enables them to wear down the front line of pressure and therefore be able to escape the first line of pressure. This enables them to create spaces for their fullbacks to receive the ball in the wide areas, and as well as they are dropping forward, dropping deep to pick the ball in between the lines. This numerical superiority both in the wide areas and the central regions has enabled Brighton to progress with the ball freely. From this image, you can clearly see how Brighton positions themselves during build-up. The 2 forwards, McAllister and Welbeck, drop into midfield, and this forces the opposition centre-backs to leave their positions, and this creates a huge hole in the opposition defence for the runs of their pacing wingers in Solimarch and Mitoma, who are able to make diagonal runs into the space. Let's now look at how Brighton play after they have escaped the first line of pressure. So when Brighton have escaped the first line of pressure, their 2 fullbacks play high and wide, their 2 holding midfielders play close together in midfield, and this enables the centre backs to have the ball and able to rotate the ball amongst themselves. So when the opposition decides to sit onto the 2 holding midfielders, the centre backs have the space to pick the runs of either Solimarch or Mitoma by the spaces created in behind. This position also enables the centre backs to rotate the ball amongst themselves, the full backs and the holding midfielders. This is because the opposition defense is being pinned down by the wingers, the attacking midfielder and the striker. Here we can see that the position that Mitoma and March are holding are enabling the centre backs to have time and space on the ball. This time and space on the ball enables the centre backs to be able to pick intricate passes both in between the lines and in the forward areas. When an opposition team decides to go man-to-man with Brighton, they leave spaces in between the lines where McAllister can be dropping into this position and receiving the ball directly from the centre backs. This is evident with Dunk playing the most progressive passes for Brighton. When McAllister receives this ball, it creates a sense of uncertainty between the fullback and the centre backs, because if they decide to pick him, Mitoma and Welbeck have a free run on goal, and this has resulted to Brighton scoring many goals as a result of the in-between movements of Welbeck and McAllister for Brighton. Now, when teams decide to sit deep against Brighton, the Brighton forwards tend to drop so deep close to their two holding midfielders to receive the ball from their centre backs. This makes the opposition centre back to drop in midfield to try and cover this. This can create a situation whereby McAllister and the two wingers may try to run and make runs in behind the defender into the space vacated by the defender, giving Brighton a clear goal scoring chance. Alternatively, the centre backs may also decide to hoof the ball for the runs of Mitoma and Solimatch by playing a first time ball in behind the defensive line. Here you can see that the opposition team is going man-to-man press against Brighton, so the goalkeeper is in possession of the ball. When the goalkeeper sees this, he plays a first-time ball in the space vacated by the centre backs, and here you can see Mitoma and Solimatch in a 1v1 situation with both fullbacks as they make the run in behind the line. Once they make the run in behind the line, Mitoma goes one-on-one with the goalkeeper and chips the ball on top of the goalkeeper and scores a fantastic goal. Can see how Brighton are slowly building up. Welbeck is dropping in midfield together with McAllister, forcing the opposition centre backs to leave their position. This has created a huge gap in the centre of the pitch. A first time ball for Sanchez, and Mitoma is able to outpace the opposition fullback and therefore have a clean run on goal where he scores a fabulous goal. Now, let's analyze Brighton's defensive strategy, and their first defensive strategy is pressing. Brighton are one of the teams that press the most in the Premier League. They press by forcing the opposition to play the ball towards the touchline where they can initiate a touchline press. This pressing strategy ensures that Brighton are able to use the touchline as an extra defender. This kind of pressing forces the opposition either to go long or lose the ball to Brighton. When the opposition go long, Brighton has one of the best aerially dominant centre back in Lewis Dunk, who is able to retrieve the ball and begin Brighton's build-up structure. You can see that even if you try to play the ball in behind, their centre backs are able to shift across and recover the ball. Here you can see Brighton going man-to-man with West Ham as they press them to play the ball on one side of the pitch. This will force West Ham to use the other flank where Brighton has set a pressing trap. So when the ball is played onto the other side, Brighton initiate a touchline press. This forces the West Ham fullback to play the ball in midfield all long, where Caicedo intercepts the ball and commences Brighton's counter attack. You can clearly see how De Zerbi has transformed Brighton into one of the best attacking teams in Europe. We can credit this, though a lot of pundits had given him a blank slate, saying that he will not be able to succeed at Brighton. He has managed to transform Brighton, and Brighton are in the course to playing European football next season. We anticipate to watch a match between De Zerbi's Brighton and Manchester City and see how Pep can try to counter this excellent Brighton's builder. If you've stayed with us till the end of the video, we want to thank you and say thanks for watching and subscribe to our channel.